It is Bill with Franklin Loan Center, and it is Wednesday, September 1st. Oh my goodness, I cannot believe we're getting to the end of Q3 already. Just surprising. Hey, really quick. So September is marking the end of the forbearance run with regards to the CARES Act. So for anybody, I mean, if you're in it, you know what it is. If you don't, part of the CARES Act that came out as part of the COVID stimulus program was to give, allow everybody to, if they couldn't make their mortgage payment, or even if they could, to jump into forbearance and just essentially defer those payments. It's not a forgiveness; it's just a deferment of the payment until you can get through COVID and get back on your feet. So here we are at September, 18 months after, and now that program is coming to an end. Statistics on this are strangely difficult to get, but my understanding is about 2 million homeowners are currently in forbearance. Now, there's some number of those that continue to make your payment, apparently. So, not exactly sure what that's all about. But anyway, there's potentially a couple million people that are about to come out of forbearance, and it matters how you come out of that, right? So, what I'm seeing most people do is just come out of it. Almost every lender is allowing an option, and in fact, if you're with Fannie or Freddie, you're guaranteed an option of just taking the full balance and putting it on the end of the mortgage. And so essentially what you did is you just take whatever window of time you didn't make the payments, you just stack at the end of the amortization, and it kind of just blanks out this period. And again, none of these are supposed to have any impact on your actual credit score. The others are is you can make a one-time lump sum payment. I've seen a few people do that, not a lot, but a few people are doing that. And then last but not least is, there's people that are taking the amount and then they just spread those payments over 12 or 24 months. I've seen different things on that front as well. But here's what matters, right? So for anyone that got in it early, they might not have taken advantage of today's interest rates, right? So they've kind of frozen their mortgage in time, and that's actually okay, regardless of actually, if you make a lump sum payment and you want to come out of forbearance, you've got the money there available, and you want to just make that full payment, you could literally refinance as soon as you're out of forbearance. So that's one option. The other two options that are there are both going to require that you make at least 3 on-time payments, and then you will qualify for a run. And by the way, what's up, Fernando? Good to hear from you, man. And so those are the possibilities. There's also, I mean, I want everyone to be really careful, because there's lenders out there that, and I'm just worried about the language they're offering a modification. Most of what I'm hearing is a modification is being defined as just taking that chunk and putting it at the end of the loan. But I've also heard a couple that are just throwing in a modification that sounds like it's outside the CARES Act. And it may actually show up as a modification. It could cause you some issues with financing down the road. And it's just super important that you do this right. So I guess if you have any questions on this stuff, please reach out to me or someone else that can really help you through it. I unfortunately, and I think there's a lot of people that are with these servicers that are just trying to get these things done, and they're not really thinking about what's maybe best for the client long term. They're just trying to get them off their books, and I think it would be easy to make a mistake and do something wrong. So definitely make sure that if you're not really sure what you're doing, get with someone that does. I'm happy to help and review anything that I see. I'm obviously not an attorney, but I do speak mortgagees, and I'm happy to help anyone out that wants to need some guidance. So just want to throw that out today. It's obviously a big deal. I mean, the other thing that's going on in the real estate world is, of course, now the Supreme Court came out and said that there's, it's just unconstitutional apparently to have any sort of eviction moratorium, and so I'll talk more about that on another topic, but that's a big one too. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens here over the next little bit. So that is it. I'll talk to you all next week.